Olaf Scholz reveals that not only are there French troops, but British troops in Ukraine right now helping the Ukrainian forces shoot missiles into Russian targets. So they're very angry with them because when they try to say, well, how dare does he reveal our secrets? The reality is that there was no denial that there's British and French operating in Ukraine. But he's basically saying, well, we are already there, and this is dangerous to the cause of war.
The week before last, it was disclosed there were 14 CIA bases, operating bases, paramilitary operating bases in the Ukraine. Some of them have been operative before Putin's invasion. The CIA has paramilitary officers. They are ex-special forces, SEALs, Green Berets, things of that nature, Rangers, and they're civilians. Russia has its own Wagner group.
Yes.
There's no, every country has this. The French will often use the French Foreign Legion in civilian clothes. That's what they will do. It's no secret that all countries do this. You're just not supposed to admit it. But it's no secret that it goes on. What's happening here is it's not just missiles. It is drones.
Yes.
There's been a lot of drone attacks by the Ukraine on Russia. Russia itself is being hit. Mother Russia,
pretty hard.
Moscow has been hit. Oil refineries have been hit inside Russia. There have been absolute targets that the Ukrainians would not have had the technological wherewithal or the military expertise to hit themselves. So what happens? You get a retired military officer who has that kind of expertise, and he gets out of the military, he gets his pension, and he goes to work for some company. But that company, of course, is under contract to an intelligence agency. It's all 2 or 3 steps removed. There's always maintaining a safe distance. You know,
you're talking about Tony Radican, right? Tony Radican.
Yeah, the way Tony Radican, the way Elvis Presley used to get his barbiturates. You know, there'd always be a couple of parties in between the
you need a buffer. You need a buffer.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way it goes on. That has always gone on. There's nothing new about this, and it is not a secret. What is interesting, however, is NATO is technically being circumvented, because NATO member nations are acting unilaterally.
That's right.
By private agreements between the Zelensky government of the Ukraine and France, Germany, whoever, the United States, possibly. So
that's what Macron
NATO's not doing this, NATO's not doing this, NATO's not doing this. No, it's deep state doing it. It's deep state doing it. Now, don't forget, Russia does the same thing in Syria. Russia does the same thing in much of Africa with the Wagner Group. They all do it.
Yeah, this is what Macron was talking about, that all these countries, NATO countries, have a security agreement, a personal security agreement, and he could see countries making unilateral decisions to bring troops into Ukraine. That got the Russians really, really worked up. And to the point where just taking in what Medvedev said last week about military nuclear attacks, now you got Russia saying, more Russian, I guess, military guys saying the same thing, that Scholz said it, Macron said it, this is an act of war. This is an act of war, right? That's what Russia is saying. This is an act of war. So they're justified in any retaliation, I suppose, now, because Europe is it's a powder keg right now. We'll go David real quick. David, listen, what do you think of all this? Is Scholz justified in saying this? Is he trying to warn? Is Macron trying to start a war? There's so many angles.
Well, I can't find a man that's looking for peace anywhere.
And that's what the Slovakian prime minister said. Nobody's talking peace.
I mean, there was Trump who said he was talking peace, but everyone else. So since... And it's true, and it's like the fulfillment of all their words and their actions could very well end in a war. I mean, we're already in one, but now one that would be much, much worse, that we blow up quickly and everything. But Well, for Christians, of course, we know that God is in control no matter what happens. And we can't have fear over this. So even though we're talking about this and things almost seem hopeless or like inevitable, because like you see, weapons are going, Germans are supplying, England supplying, they're all supplying. Austria is now getting new weapons from Sweden for allowing them to come in, some new really good jets. So the world is gearing up for war.